Hello and welcome everyone, I'm Madals and today I've got game number 1 of a best of 3. It is a bit of Zerg versus Protoss and it is from the Russian StarCraft League on one of their specially created maps. It's Strangewood and I'm going to take a little look at that because it's a map not seen by many people. I haven't seen it many times, so I'll give you a little bit of a rundown on that. But first, the two players. So, down here in the bottom right position, we have got the red Zerg player from Team Quantic. It is HyuN. And his opponent spawning in the top left, the green Protoss player from Team Evil Geniuses. It is HuK. Now this is part of a batch of replays I've got from the Russian Star League, and oh my god, they're amazing! Like seriously, incredibly good, ridiculously good. And so yeah, you should totally check out this. I think Nathanius actually casts them live on his stream, so yeah, you should check that out because Nathanius, of course, is a dude. I've cast quite a lot with him, and he's pretty solid. Now, the map, Strangewood. Well, this tile set is pretty awesome. Basically, big main base. That's probably something really important to note. This is actually huge. There's so much space around here. Also, drops potentially, if they ever came in, would be quite good around this sort of area. Interesting to note. Natural base, yeah, okay. Quite a big natural as well. Lots of area around this map. The natural, there's this massively... Well, there's quite a tight choke here. But look how far away that is from your base. So that just means that there's a lot of area here which is tight, so defending around here would be quite good. Then onto a third. Well, we've got this area as a potential third. Alternatively, you can come down through here and up and take this third. Probably wouldn't advise this one because there's a back entrance in. It's a long way away. This is the more logical third base, but there is this high ground area which can be utilized really quite effectively. So lots of funky things that could be going on, but it's a big map. That's the main thing, and that's why we're seeing HyuN here go for a hatch before pull against the Protoss. It's a bit of a risky thing to do, but it's a 4-player map, can spawn in any of the positions as far as I know, and therefore it's unlikely that HuK would be able to run over and just come and kill him or forge or basically get cannons down. So that's good. There's also no watchtower on this map. The center area, lots of bushes, quite interesting layout here. It's a lot larger than, say, on Red City, where it's a lot smaller, but still the same kind of general idea that there's this central area which is going to be fought over quite a lot. Also, you can't just get a straight run. You've got to come around the sideways into getting in the cross spawn positions to get your opponents. So, really interesting map. I'll be interested to see how this plays out. I think ground armies are going to be pretty dominant as opposed to airplay, because while you can come in, there's not really much dead space around these bases, so it'd be a bit difficult to try and get in and out with oracles or something like that. Now, HuK, busy getting down his mothership core, 2 gas, 2 probes in each, so very normal stuff. Gonna go and expand straight off the back of that. Gateway expand, really safe way to play this. Yeah, all looking cool. HyuN, yeah, two Zerglings out, that's it. He's just happily droning. Interesting gas timing though, that's one thing I will say. Probably expecting HuK to go for this gateway expand, because otherwise he would have had to have rushed out the third. But regardless, even getting that gas down, it's for speed, and notice now he's only keeping 1 in there. That's actually really interesting to me, because most players who get this gas out first get speed, and then cut all drones out. HyuN just keeping 1 in there, just to make sure that he's going to be able to get that trickle in, and does have some gas if he needs to force some roaches really quickly, or if not, get up to a lair at a reasonable time. But his third should be timed at around the sort of 6-minute mark, give or take a bit, 6 minutes 30. Again, he'll come down here, so nice little place to go. Fairly easy expansions. The double gateway, wall off coming down here. Interestingly, from HuK, he's choosing to wall off here as opposed to moving out further where it's tighter. Smart move, to be honest, because otherwise you're a long way away from reinforcements before Warp Gate Text comes down. Now, interestingly, from HuK here, going for that Stargate. And as I said earlier, because there isn't that much dead space around the map, I didn't think he would go for that. So this is quite interesting. Again, could be because the map isn't used too often, that actually getting exact strategies on it is not something that these two have worked out hugely. But HuK probably just going to get some Phoenix out, because that's a nice way to go with Phoenix. You can start putting on a bit of pressure. They've got some mid-game use. You can also pick up Overlords quite nicely with them. So I think Phoenix most likely. Avoid Ray possible. Oracle, personally, I think is the least likely, because there is so little dead space around here. It can get picked off very quickly. It's also a big map, so it take a long time to get over there. But at the moment, 2 queens out here. Just have to run 3 queens in total for HyuN. Now getting 10 lings out, so actually getting quite a sizable force in order to come and defend, which is quite interesting because he's scouted out even the Stargate he's seen. So he knows the Phoenix are probably coming. He should chuck down a Spore Crawler at each base. His third is getting somewhat delayed because of these additional Zerglings though. Even though he's got enough money to throw it down, he wants to make sure he's safe first. Finding this proxy pylon is going to be a massive thing for him though, because now HyuN is going to know that, hey, reinforcements probably aren't coming in. He's going to be very proactive. HuK even getting supply block from losing that, and he does not have another pylon in construction yet. Big problem for him. The Phoenix is going to start working down here. The pylon only now just getting started. Bit of an issue for HuK. Double expand coming down here from HyuN. Very interesting way to play this. Delaying the third and just double expanding off the back of it after he knows that he's dealt with the pressure. So reducing the risk of taking that third and getting it picked off, but also now means that he's got 2 bases he's got to hold. This mothership core is going to be a bit of a pain, and try and start working down at this, well, we'll call it the 4th, but nothing too much to worry about there. It's such low DPS that it would take forever to be able to pick it off, but the Phoenix coming in, that can be a bit of a pain. Also HyuN getting supply block, 5 overlords now on the way, so that will break that, but he's going to lose a couple more still, and it's really frustrating as a Zerg player getting these supply blocks, because you start banking up lava, you're just unable to spend. It also stops the natural production of lava rather than from injects, which is, again, very frustrating. This Overlord is still chilling up here, ready to keep an eye out, ready to go sacrifice its way in. Lots of Overlords getting picked off by these Phoenix. They're actually doing a surprising amount of damage here, and that's something which HyuN isn't going to be too happy about. Getting supply block once more, no more Overlords in production after getting a big wave of roaches out. So he's going to go and try and put on some pressure, knowing that his opponent's committed quite heavily to the Phoenix. Getting 4 out, not really got much of a ground army, just 1 Stalker and 3 sentries in terms of defense. This hatch is actually starting to get pretty low, believe it or not. And a Queen can't even go over there to go and save it, because the Queen alone will get picked off by those 4 Phoenix. Easy peasy. Because of that, HuK is just actually going to keep working away. It will take forever and a day for this mothership core to kill it, and the Hydras, I think, will actually get out before there's any risk. But it does still mean that this hatchery is severely damaged, making it potentially vulnerable to Zealot Warpins, which, with this proxy pylon coming down, is a big possibility. Now HyuN deciding that he wants to keep that up. Not enough energy to transfuse there, but the mothership core being forced away. No additional queens actually coming out yet at these hatcheries, so he's not going to be able to inject after bringing all of these queens over. Does lose one as well in the process, which is very frustrating. A Phoenix could go down if it's not carefully controlled. The Hydras, though, they're going to put a real end to this. Still, roaches try to push in here. Came across pretty much big wall, and so like that, can't get through there. Blink being researched here from HuK, who's also being very proactive, trying to keep this Overlord out to prevent the scouting information from HyuN, who currently just hasn't seen the main base at all. He doesn't know about the robo, doesn't know about the additional gateways, but because he knows there isn't a 3rd base down yet, he can be fairly confident that, okay, it's probably going to be some kind of 2-base play. With the Immortal being pumped out, I think the gateway count is going to be going up to, well, there's 4 already down, and 4 more, yeah, so 8 gate plus a robo, that's an all-in, plus blink as well. Very, very heavy composition coming out of HuK. He can't afford to expand off the back of this as well, if he produces to the max. So HyuN, with these 4 bases up, he just actually needs to stop droning and get out a lot of roaches and a lot of Hydralisks. 1-1 upgrades, or sorry, +1 attack is about to be done, missile attack that is. Really what HyuN needs at the moment. He needs to get as many Hydras and many roaches out as he can to deal with this ground force that's going to be pushing in, and he shouldn't have too much to worry about as long as he does pump that out. The creep spread needs to keep going though. Can't emphasize that enough. The creep spread is essential to being able to defend all 4 of these bases. And the good thing for HyuN is that he can afford to lose one of these, because he's got still a base up even if he goes to 3, so that's good news. In terms of the drone count, HyuN's saying it's 63, not droning anymore at the moment. Really just wants to pump as many units as possible. Oh, the Hydras catch a couple of these Phoenix out of position. 1 goes down. That's good news there for HyuN. It means that actually he doesn't have to worry about that too much more. But now the push is coming across. No second... second Immortal is out, and that is when the push is going to come. No War Prism, interestingly, coming down, because there is this proxy pylon up here. This is the base that HuK is going to be targeting, but HuK doesn't even know about this other base down to the south position. So if you identified that, maybe that would change his strategy, because he knows he's got to kill 2 there. But just look at the stuff being pumped out here from HyuN. A lot of, well, just a sheer ton of units coming out. Got to get the Hydras in a nice position. Needs to be careful of the force fields, but also needs to be careful of these units, because they do have the 2-0 upgrades up against 1-0. Upgrade advantage sitting there for HuK. In terms of the army supply as well, HuK is only down by a little bit. The roaches, the attack arc has to be perfect. Dangerous position being by this rock tower. The Stalkers can't follow it up, because otherwise the rock tower will get knocked down. But this means that the unit's so far out of position here, not going to be able to save the space. Definitely going down. A couple of drones getting picked up too, but with the Hydralisk there, the Stalkers do have to be very careful. Additional warpins should be coming down momentarily for HuK. After picking up that hatchery, he's going to be quite happy, and if he pulls back here, I'm not too happy about that, because Yes, he's picked off what he thinks is the third. He doesn't know about this fourth base, and therefore he thinks he's done the damage he needs. He thinks he's put his opponent on equal workers, and everything is fine and dandy. If he knew about this base, that would completely change everything, because he knows he would need to keep pushing in. This is giving HyuN the chance to keep getting out more units. HyuN getting close to maxing. Yes, the upgrade advantage is there for HuK. He's also got +3 on the way, but at some point, HuK is going to have to push into HyuN, and HyuN in this sort of area can get a massive attack out. These Stalkers, without support, are taking a lot of fire from these Hydras, blinking back as best as possible. The Immortal taking a huge amount of fire, and the Immortal going down will mean the Roaches are going to be so much more effective, but the Force Fields are good from HuK at the moment. He's trying to keep this army at bay. HyuN's supply is tumbling down, but the Force Fields are now pretty much depleted. A couple more available on 2 of those sentries with energy, but the Gateway Force a lot lower still. Big wave of Warpins coming in from those 8 gates we've got down on the field, but HyuN, he's also pumping out a good number of Roaches. More Force Fields coming down, only 4 available, and this is allowing the Hydras to get into a much better position. They're trying to do as much damage. Some Lings are also coming in here too. The Sentry gets taken out, the second Immortal gets taken out, and this means only Stalkers remain against Hydras and Zerglings. Not going to be an effective composition. There's no Robotics Bay done though for HuK. That means he can't even start the Colossus production in order to help deal with this force. HyuN taking a 4th base now, down to the bottom position. The Zealot busy working away at a Cocoon. Of course, that takes an eternity. The Zealot will go down as well, but the Stalkers now coming down, checking to see the 4th location down here. Are they going to discover it? Are they rallied the right way? Yes, they are. There's the rally point. So coming straight in, sees the creep spread, knows it's there. About to also discover this 3rd, and from this high ground, we'll be able to start picking off drones. The macro hatch there too, blinking straight down. Big commitment here from HuK. He's got to be careful because the Zerglings and Roaches are coming in. Blink is about to be off cooldown though, so he will be able to escape. But was that push worth it? No, I don't think it was. He got a Queen, but he lost a couple of Stalkers. Going to lose a few more here too, and didn't really hurt the economy. Oh, the Rock Tower getting focused. This could be disastrous. HuK is going to take out a good number of units there. HyuN only just managing to get out of the way quickly enough. Smart play, using the map to his advantage there. HuK really looking good, also blocking the reinforcements from coming down even after HyuN managed to get out of that firing range. So this is looking very good. HuK trying to secure up his 3rd base now because he's got no other choice. His main starting to get pretty damn low, but the macro hatch is coming down. HyuN getting ready for the tech switch as well into those Mutalisks, or of course Corruptors if he only sees a couple of Colossi on the field, but it's going to be High Templar from HuK. Very good choice, very interesting choice as well. It means these Hydras melt to storms very quickly. Stalkers coming across a big Roach Hydra force and just saying, no, we don't want that. 3-0 up against 2-0 upgrades. HyuN needs to make sure that he starts that Carapace, and just as I said, there we go. So Carapace is now on its way. That's going to help him level out this upgrade advantage, but things looking... Well, I want to say things looking pretty good for HyuN because he's still got the good economy. He's had it all game, just under 70 drones, and Storm isn't yet done. So if HyuN strikes shortly, he's going to be in a good spot. There's not many force fields and only gateway units here. The Hydra is doing a huge amount of damage. Are there enough Roaches to tank up the fire? Well, the force fields actually zoning the Zealots out of range of those Hydras, really being helpful. But the 3rd base for HuK is now getting attacked. It has completed, so no cancel possible for the moment, and this is looking very good for HyuN. We'll snipe that out, and now suddenly the economy of HuK looking to be in tatters. The main base is mining out rapidly, and HyuN happily sitting on 4. This is what he wants. The Hydra Den's down, plus 1 flyer attack is also getting researched, so he's ready to switch into those Mutalisks, but he's going to want to flood them. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him send in a group of these units wanting to trade, even just to lose the supply and trade relatively effectively. All he needs to do is make sure he kills enough units that a counterattack is not possible. Then he can start the Mutalisk production and really try and catch his opponent off guard. He needs to tail a good number of Stalkers too, because otherwise with Blink they're going to be quite effective. Storm is also down. It is researched now. The Hydras do need to be careful. HyuN's got to split as effectively as possible. This is now HyuN coming around the other side. He's going to go for this pincer movement, going from either side, sandwiching this Protoss force. Is he going to be able to get it down? There's the Storms that HuK needs, starting to do some damage. A Blink forward, aggressive Blink there, trying to close up the distance, but the problem is the retreat path is now being attacked by these Roaches and Hydralisk. HuK is completely surrounded. Things looking amazing for HyuN now. The blink away means that the Immortal is completely vulnerable. GG is called, and game number 1 goes to the Quantic player. What a first game. If you enjoyed that, like the video, leave a cool comment, and of course subscribe. I get new games up daily, but now you can flick over to game number 2. I'll see you there.